Alright, so today we're going to do something a little different. I'm not going to talk through this as I go here, and maybe it will, I don't know, prove to be insightful in some capacity. So right off the bat, I'm seeing that pause on his side. I'm assuming he has Max C in his hand, which is not dope. If we obedience here, we give him one card. We have to then convert it into joyous, or we have to do at least something, right? Otherwise we lose them per the obedience effect. So the idea here is that we need to get it into a joyous forest or whatever. So that would be effectively 2 cards, if that is Max C, which is not terrible. Alternatively, we can normal summon Wally, Imperm, set Schooled. How confident are we that it's, you know, Max C or something? I don't know. So I guess our best play here, just because we can't chain block and we have no way to protect ourselves from Ash, which is more likely than Max C, we're going to hit this first. Okay. So we baited out the Ash, which is fine, because now we can summon this one out. Yeah, he has a Max C or an Imperm or something to that effect. But I'm pretty sure it's Max C based on what I saw at the beginning. Do we want him to I think we do. So the idea here is that if it is Max C, we want him to get rid of it in the end phase because he thinks we have a bunch of Melffys to summon. And not on his turn. Because that stands to earn him a lot more cards. So hopefully he thinks I have another useful Melffy under here and he throws Max C. We'll feed him 1 card. Damn, he didn't. Alright, so now we just want to make sure when we do go off that we use Wally here. The one that's in attack position. Just because if you forget and you get attacked over, it feels bad. Sometimes you can do all these mental gymnastics. And you just realize at the end of the game your LP is lower than you knew, and they just go front facing and beat the crap out of you. All right, so Fiendsmith is a good demo. We know the play here. He summons it out. If he has Max C, we just play through it. I mean, we really don't have any other choice, especially against a deck like this. Again, we're going to choose the one in attack position. No Max C, really? Alright, so we don't have anything in the grave. What do we have in our hand? Only a Wally that's already been triggered, so like it's not going to be useful to us. So immediately we just say, okay, we'll go standard, Caddy, and Puppy here. Now, typically anything I summon off of these that can't move, so a non-Melffy, I put somewhere that it can't be grabbed from some link bull crap or whatever. So typically in the 1, 3, 5. Okay, so this is an interesting decision here. We can actually save this to pop whatever is next, because if we try to pop something here, it's not going to work. Alternatively, we can get Finny out just to have a second body, maybe. I think we save the pop. The issue is, like, if I don't chain block here, and he does have an Ash that he's been trigger hiding, then we probably just lose, right? So I think that for safety's sake, we gotta go ahead and pull it. That was super dumb to react like that. He should have waited for me to plant, which would have been Kalantosa, because now I can just pop this, right? Because it's on the board. Okay. Granted, he's probably not super familiar with Melffy, but yeah, that's actually a really bad decision. We'll go ahead and pop this. Alright, so now we're in a good spot. We have one negate on the board. We have Silvera or Satellite. We don't care that much. We really want to save this for if he ashes or something like that. And this card's not really that impressive. Okay, what is this? Okay. Oh my god. Alright. Let's let him cook. Let's let him cook. Now normal summon, please. Throw me out a normal summon. We're gonna go ahead and hit this. I want to whittle his hand down to 1 card, ideally. If I can do that, then I can get into Satellite, pull the card out of his hand, clear the 3, and we're good to go. Game's over. He's got no resources. Even if he decides to get rid of one of these with this Fiendsmith garbage, it won't matter. Yep, that's what I like to see. We'll just use whichever is the one still left on the board. Waiting for a normal summon. Let's see it. That'll work, actually. So let's let him start to get like this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just Silvera here. Now you want to make sure that you burn Wally. And then it's really your choice here, what you prefer. I'm going to burn Caddy simply because Puppy can always place Pony, which can fish me. Penny, which keeps the loop going. So that's just kind of the direction I usually default to. You love to do this in battle phase for obvious reasons. You know, there's nothing they can do about it. If you can't save Silvera for battle phase, like for instance, sometimes they'll put 5 monsters out. You can Silvera early, flip them all, and then they have a board full of crap they can't do anything with. Alright, so ideally here we want to be able to get Silvera to run into something, but we also want to get into Satellite without using Silvera, right? So let's see what that would potentially look like. First, I don't remember what the order were. So Fiendsmith and Graver is over here, and Gunkin is over here then, based on this priority order. Silvera's always going to flip right to left. So Gunkin was the furthest to right. So we'll go ahead and... So the risk here is, like, I can normal summon this, and if they have some kind of crazy trap back there, I could be in trouble, whereas if I just immediately jump in a Satellite, he can effect off of himself and usually dodge effects, so this is kind of risky. And it gives me lethal if I can get it all. Otherwise, I clear this. This is still on the board. I go into something in MP2 that could potentially clear both of those. That might be the better play, right? But I'm going to be aggro here, and we're going to see how it goes. And because I don't have Kalantosa in my graveyard, probably in my best interest to Elf here. Pull, okay, perfect. Perfect. So that's fine. Do we have the damage to take out the, we don't. That's fine as well. So, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all. Because what happens here is we end up having protection. And then we can place Pony here. We can fish up Wally if we want to place something else. That would be nice. If we can get Wally off, that would be really dope. Let's see how that goes. Because then we could actually just place the other 2 Melffys. Yeah, we're good. Doesn't have anything in his hand or it would have triggered there. Making sure this is on so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about me being able to hold stuff. Can't target either of these 2, so he's got to make a decision here. These 2 are the ones who win games, though, so we're going to see how this goes. Might have been in my best interest now, thinking that was Imperm. I guess I could have considered all of the potential options that back row card could have been, right? The Gunkin stuff kind of threw me off a little bit, but yeah, Imperm was probably the most likely. That's fine. In fact, that sometimes helps us because that gives us actually a extra pop for satellite now because there's an extra synchro monster in the graveyard, so we will take that all day. So we're gonna summon Kitty Tail here just to give us some graveyard coverage. We're gonna do the other 2. Now, unfortunately, you can't pull Alpha off of Finny because of Alpha's text. Cannot be normal summon, so blah, 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 blah. Which is unfortunate. Do we want to prevent a pop here, or do we want to pop a card? Let's go with pop a card. Just that gives us the ability to remove a pesky back row on some surprise business sometimes. Whereas Speed obviously stops them from being able to attack. But based on the structure and the posture of the board right now, I think we're actually fine. Alright, here we go. So we want to always, and I should have mentioned as I've been going, but you always want to put the priority Melffy on the bottom and the non-priority on the top. Like if you don't already, that's how you should. Now we actually want to put Wally down here because we're gonna get into yeah, watch this. We're gonna immediately jump into Locust here, and the reason this isn't a quick effect, right? So it's important to know if they're quick effects or not, because if they are quick effects, then, you know, they can play around this, they can react to your Locust, but if they're not, you have to be fast enough to act before they get the opportunity to do so, right? So we're gonna actually wait here. I don't like to chain it to my own effect. I like to see what the card is that's discarded. I wait, and then from here I can decide, okay, do I want to pop now and get into it? Do I think he's going to potentially come out with more plays and I should wait for a different timing? But in this case, I'm obviously going to go ahead and go for it. And we're going to get into Excel, use Wally. Now we could actually Baron here, which might be the honestly the safer pick, just because if he does have some kind of secondary play, maybe Baron can cover it. But because I know that there's nothing in his graveyard he can get creative with or anything like that, we're gonna go ahead and just only thing he can do is this guy, right? This card, and you can shuffle one other light fiend monster from your deck. We could actually bounce this back right now as well, and that might even be more productive. He's going to shuffle this back or that back, so I guess it doesn't matter either way. We'll go ahead and go Satellite here just because of the immunity. I just don't see him getting over it. And if he does, we get the dragons back, so it's not the end of the world. I think this is the more efficient play. Yeah, we knew that. And he's going to come out and he's going to probably try to return this. Oh, never mind. Yeah, he already used that, so he can't even do that. We have, yeah, Valerifon and Kalantosa in the graveyard. So if that's all he has, and the game is over, which I believe that's all he has. Unless I missed something. I don't know a whole lot about Gunkin, so it's very possible I did. Homie is thinking really hard. How did it all go wrong? What the heck does Melffy even do? That's really the only play here. Because I just immediately, what we do to follow that out is I immediately will pull Valeraphon out of the graveyard. And then we will ditch whatever's in our hand, fish out. In that case, we could have ditched Alpha just because we know we can't trigger it based on his lack of anything. So anyways, we would summon Valeraphon. She would summon Kalantosa. Kalantosa would pop the front row, which would get rid of the back row as well. You go to face, right? And you can even rub salt in the wound, which I really love to do, and get into Raccoon, clone Satellite, so you got like, I don't know, a bazillion damage on board, and then you can crash that way. So just a fun little game there. Obviously was a little strange opponent, but things went okay. I think all the decision making was pretty solid, and hopefully the commentary helped somebody in some capacity. So if there's any other questions, feel free to drop them, and I'll try to cover them in the next thing.